bon dia. Thank you so much for the presentation. I know that it's a little bit early. I'm so tired too, so I will try to make that one a little bit like smooth for Friday. So let's present myself. I'm Marta. I'm a design system teacher. I'm working as a design system too. I'm leading the community of in design system in Spain. And at the same time, I'm the CPO, I'm the co-founder of Pro Design Camp. That was a camp for product designers that take place last week, which is Salvador in Barcelona. It sounds like a camp for like older people, but that was super funny. And we have like 3 days where we complete our portfolio. So I would recommend you that to just follow Pro Design Camp. It's super cool, and we will make it a next edition next year. So what we're gonna see today, it's first of all, it's how to lead from the shadows. What is the meaning from leading behind the scenes? The four pillars of leading from the shadow, like four things that I just continue making on my work for making like this leadership, but not being in the front of the camera. And what exactly it's leading from the shadow, what is like the concept of that, and then a summary. So first of all, what exactly is leading from the shadows? So in a lot of companies that I was working on, I was making like a lot of things that were not on my role. I just tried to grab some skills from other people, make work that is supposed not to be on my role. But I have like that feeling that I need to do this stuff because if I didn't do that one, no one's gonna be make it. So I was always on the shadows. So I wanted to share like my experience making that and how you can take that advantage to put this on your beneficials and not like being like a burnout on that situations. So first of all, like leadership isn't about like titles; it's about actions. Well, I'll put like here, and guiding the team to accomplish the missions. So for me, like leadership, and this is like super personal. It's not a role that you just put like on LinkedIn. Hey, I'm like a leader. You can be like a leader without having like that role. You can take that ownership. So it's really important that you can detect when you are a lead, and then just be like more visible and not stay like behind the scenes because at the end this is not really cool. So I will show you like a couple of examples. So for example, I don't know if well that's like ChatGPT trying to make like yeah, this image for me, they don't make like really nice, but in anyways, you remember like when you are on a meeting and you just started like it's Monday, it's like 8 a.m. Everyone like super tired. It's your lead here on the stage, and then nobody says nothing. It's really like super awkward. You're just stay like there, nobody says nothing, and your lead is just taking like some notes, just looking in the ceilings, and nobody says nothing. And you are like, okay, what happened if I just say something there, right? And then you don't know why, but this happened one time, two times, three times, and then you are like owning the entire meeting. And it's not on your position, but you do it because no one's saying nothing. So you just take that ownership. Then after the meetings, everyone just asking like, hey, what exactly I need to do it? And no one's know what you need to do it because you finish like the meetings and no one say like, hey, the action points and the next steps are that one. So you say, okay, what happened if I just put all that ideas down and write a message on Slack or in any platform that you have it, and then you just start doing that one. Oh, just cancel that one. I press like, okay, the run button. So then you start making that work. But it's not one time. Then the people just ask you to continue making that one because that was super useful. So again, you take the ownership of things that are not under your role. And then you see like that kind of situations. Again, I don't know one is Kristen Gray here, but my ChatGPT just consider that it's my partnership on the word. That's nice. So you are on the middle, you see like some conversation between manager and people of your team, and you see that they are arguing and trying to like go on the same direction, but they are like speaking like different languages. So you see that situation and try to hold that. So for me, this is kind of leadership on the shadows. You are making things that are not under your role, but you assume that you need to do that one. So how to do it from the shadows? So before to starting on the four pillars and how to motivate. Super important. So before of all, you need to understand the ecosystem. So I always put like that example because I really like that. When you have like a meeting with someone, you have like your friends, like are you dating through an app or something, and you say, hey, tomorrow I have like a date, but I don't know that person. what are your friends doing? They are just like make like sitting in Miami. They are just going on Instagram. They're just searching that person. So your friend just go to the date and know everything about the other person. So why we don't do that one when we started on a company? You need to be like a sitting in Miami. You need to put like all the information about the company on kind of that roadmap. Okay, they will be appear sooner. Just imagine them. Okay, now it's green. Okay, but just imagine, okay, that you have like a big, say Miami wall on your company. So you put like all the information, like design system, like the tools, like the roadmap, like the team, like the wish list. Like you ask your team what exactly they wanted to do it. So you have that kind of main map. This came from Denmo. You can find like this template on a Figma community. It's called Design System in 90-day Canvas. So they ask you like to make your team 90 questions. So you can extract that data and don't be like super annoying with them. No, hey, the first day, which are the questions that I can make with them? Normally, I just set up that one on 30 days because I know that not everyone have 90 days to make all that questions, but they are super useful. So here I just leave like a couple of questions that you can make your team to ask or to extract that data like, hey, where did you live? Where was your company that you worked before? What are the things that you like it about that company, which are not? What are the things that you have it on the other company that you don't have it here? So you try to connect with that people and have it on your side. But you need to be like super empathy. You need to be take care about that person and extract that data because it's super, super useful. So there's like one question that I always make it to them. It's if I were only in the company for 1 week, what could I do to make your work better? So normally when you start in a company, they ask you like, hey, your design system is not really good. It looks like awful. You need to change like a lot of things. Like I know it. I have my eyes. I know that I need to make like a lot of work, but what could I do it if I just have like 1 week? So they just pull like all that ideas down and ask you for make like a small change. So normally when I was on that training before I'm starting a company, I just take the 1 week to make that accomplish of everyone. So anybody are just waiting that I make something, but I just wanted that they feel that they can trust me. So for that, normally I just take that time, then pay attention to me, look at me, look awesome at the face. And then I just make that things that they didn't expect it. So then they realize on me. They ask me for my questions. So for me, there are like 4 pillars for leading on the shadow. So let's see one step by another one. The first one is to motivate them. So I like ChatGPT just remind me like being like a cheerleader, like, hey, come on. So power and inspire without being a boss. It's super important. There's like a lot of people that are just talking like, hey, hello, good morning, yeah, make that work. No, come on, just being like presently, just be on the space, just talk, just motivate. It's super important. Just imagine that someone just start like at 8 a.m. on the meeting. Hey, good morning. What's the ones that? No, come on. You need to be like that kind of cheerleader. So it's super important that you motivate them to make the word, and not only for wordings. One of the things that I continue making, it's my developer that I love them. So I just generate like some images like that one. So when they just ask me to review a PR, I just generate an image like that one, like randomly about myself and say like, hey, I approve that style. That's awesome. That's perfect. They didn't expect that I make that style, right? But I'm just that kind of joking person. So I normally like motivate them on that way. Sometimes people like the cuts, so I just put like images from beautiful cuts. People love to see cuts. So this is how I just motivate them to continue making the work better. Sometimes I just put like a cut that it's sad and say like, hey, I was expecting a little bit more. No, but and then just promises more and achievable changes. When I just joined SoSafe, like the cybersecurity company that I'm currently working on, one of the things that they just continue making me like, hey, Marta, we need like to change the entire design system. Like, okay, that's fine, but what exactly I need to do it? Put that ideas down, and then I just realized that why they didn't like it is everything looks blue. So they wanted that everything goes on green. So after just asking a lot of questions, super details, I just put all that idea down. Then I just realized that I just need to have 50 components turn from bluish to green. So this one take me like literally 2 weeks to make that one and to implement them. So the entire look and feel of the product was changed. It was kind of an MVP. I don't need like to spend time to make it like token namings or to make like couple or like super complex auditories, the only thing that I need to do it is just to resolve in a small problem super short. So I just promise something that I can do it, like it's change the entire look and feel of the product, but in the short term. So the long answer, like the long term to make like tokens and this stuff, I will do it on the future. So I just start to make like an MVP, so everyone is like happy and they can trust on my work. So another thing, it's great quick wins so the team can believe in itself. It's super important when we kind of create that kind of messages with the people that we just not say, hey, I just made like the design system and it's super cool. It's like, no, thanks to that person, to Alina, Julia, whatever is on your team, we can achieve to make that work. So you need to talk like as a team. Is you just didn't make like nothing. You just like create components, but base it on the feedback from other designers. So you need to empower them. You need to put their name on the message, say thank you to them, and put like some visual images because right now we are on that moment that we don't read. We just need like to see beautiful things and cats. So we just put like an image that support visually that message. So it's super important that you just support kind of your team. So another one is support. So be present without micromanagement. So there's like a lot of times that I just see like the design from my designers and I just see like a lot of spots, like a lot of things that can be improved, like, oh, that pixel or that radius is not 16, they should be like 24. So instead of say like, hey, there's like this margin is not good, that bottom is not nice, this one needs to be changed, I just report like 70%. And I never tell them like this bottom looks awful or this one is not on their place. I just tell them in another way. So I just ask them questions so they can just reflect about their work. For example, if I just feel like, I don't know, a corner that is 24, but then I just see the same card on 16 or on 18 pixels a corner radius. So I just ask them, which is like the default like corner radius that you are using on that design. So they just kind of reflect like, oh, I didn't have like a base default corner radius that I kind of use it. So let's just review one by one to see if there is like common patterns. And they just ask me like, ah, okay, the one that I use it more is 16. Can we use that one as a base? Oh, that's perfect. Let me just document that one so we can have like other designers to establish a rule on that. So I empower them. It's like you didn't make the work run. It's like we just reflect together, we find a solution, and we reflect this one on the documentation. So I don't go there and say like things are wrong. I just try to understand why they make the things like that and try to document them. So that's really, really important. And then, sorry, defend the others people work. The same. Either like a conversation where it's like the manager on the room, that there are the designers there, and you are on the middle, and you can support and bring some ideas. Just do it. It's not necessary that you be like always on the middle of two teams, but there's like a lot of times that a manager just say like, this is too much bigger. Why is this one green? That's like super monosyllable. I don't know if you have like that case, but in the past, I have that situation. So I try to avoid that one. So if I can just support and say, oh, that's a good point, Francesco, whatever's their name. So, but what if we do it this one in another color so we can continue use that? So just build like the bridge between that two teams can protect like both sides because normally like managers talk one languages and designers talk another one. Then set limits to avoid burnout. There's like a lot of situations. I'm a design system, so that people think that I need to do some work, and in other companies I need to do another work. So when I'm starting a company, what I'm doing is just sit down with a manager and just like put together and say, hey, can you just please roll down what you are expecting that I need to do it on my role? So normally you will see like they have one images about your role and you have another. So here is your time to put the things that you wanted to do it, like maybe more leadership on the future or maybe less leadership, and then just matching together. You will see that there's a lot of things that are not consistency. So you need to define in which direction you want to go and when you need to expect it. So in one time when they ask you for make something, just come to that list and say, hey, we agree that this stuff is not on my role. But don't put it like something like super general. I don't know, like being or make components. Just be more specific. Talk about real situation that happening on your team and put all that ideas down. Like I have the feeling, I don't know, on the meetings on the morning, I need to be on the middle of them. I need to owner that meeting. So just put like real cases where you feel that you are having that ownership. Okay, I didn't see nothing, right? Okay, no. So then when supporting become doing that all, there's like a time that we make literally everything. Like if I'm not there, like everything is gonna be explode. Just owning like the things that you think that you wanted to do it, that it's on your role or you wanted to assume, but don't make everything. Don't have any sense that you are like that one and then you are poor. No, you are not a poor. So please just avoid to make like everything and just say no to the things like, hey, this I couldn't support on that because I'm working on other things. So just being on that point responsible and protect yourself about that things. Then we have like the structure. So design process that support without controlling. It's really important that we kind of design something that just organize all the stuff because normally when you start on a company and maybe it's a smaller one, don't have any processes. So let's just define like something that will help you on the future. So well defined is like channels. This is really important. If you don't have like a space where designers can just asking questions or engineers can resolve problems, then you have a problem because maybe they will just jump it directly to you because they know that you are a design system and ask you purely questions. So just put something that opens super clear that they can just find it quickly and ask the questions there. If someone asks you directly, just tell them, hey, I need that you put like that answer here because the engineers will support, the other designer will be agree. So your manager will see that you are working on that. So don't so avoid to do it that one on private. Then proposal meetings. You need to have like some spaces where you can just talk it with that designer. You have like that review meetings, design refinements, wherever you wanted to name it. But you need to have that kind of meetings where the designers can talk to you and have that space. The same for the engineers. Then have like a clear roadmap. It's really like really hard to work if you don't have like any goal uncommon. Like you are like continue working and assuming like a lot of things on your role, but you don't know where you need to go. So just kind of define to put all that ideas down and have like clear objectives will support you a lot of that. And then contribution process, the same. If you don't have like something that the designers or the engineers can just read and know which are the step by step that they need to follow, it's really hard that people just make it. So in the case that you find someone make some steps to say, hey, why we didn't just can just follow that steps and then I can just make like that work. If there's something that doesn't work, then just iterate on the future and just update information. This don't need to be like something rigid. This is designed for designers, so they need to be like aware to make all that steps. And then communicate. Communicate is something like people don't think that it's that important, but it's super, super, super important. So if people don't know how to communicate or how to transmit ideas, this could be like kind of Slack message when you make like an update and no one take a look on that. People don't read it, then just ask you like, hey, Marta, you didn't like update some information. I did it, but I didn't communicate in a way that caught your attention. So it's really important that you always like follow the same structure when you communicate something. I always put like that kind of alarms there that are just like super visually and some small videos that make like a summary of all the updates that we make it on a design system. So I try to be like this visually. Right now, we are like consuming a lot of social media, so I couldn't like put like a lot of text there. People will not read it, so I just put like a video that is less than a 1 minute, and I put like all the summaries of all the updates that I did it there. And be proactive. That is super important. Don't wait like someone ask you to make that. If you see that this can be like super useful for your team, just do it. Don't wait it like your boss say, hey, Marta, can you do that one? Just be there. Just be on that is channels that are everywhere and be proactive on that and share your work. If you are like working isolated, like alone, you are the team of one, it's really hard that people just see what you are currently working on. So normally, for example, how I do it on myself, I just create like one presentation every week with all the updates from the design system. And this one is super useful because then when I need to share what exactly I was working on, I have everything like well organized. Like that day I just published this one. This day I just make that one. So I have like a recollect all the information that I was currently working on. So this is super useful to share like other people where you are currently working. So is living in the shadows that for you, it's something that you wanted to work on the future, like assuming like all that role and responsibilities. So for me, there were like 4 common mistakes that I make it before that I want like everyone just avoid that. So the first one is you feel like if you are not there, everything's fall apart. They arrive like one moment that literally I assume everything. Marta, can you just make that one? Yeah, of course. I'm here. I wanted to do that one. Marta, can you just, yeah, of course. I will do it. It's more when you're starting on a company and you want like everyone just say, oh, that girl just worked like super hard. Like, don't want make that one. So the leads literally just make like their own role responsibilities, and you don't see that they are available all the time. They have like a lot of meetings. They just share their the things that they are currently working on, but they are not. If they are like having holidays, nothing is like paralyzed. So you need to be like that kind of person that just share people how to do the work while you are not there, and not assuming all that responsibilities. Nobody really knows what you are contribute, so you are like literally on a bubble. So everyone, you are Martha, you are working on a design system. Yeah, I was there. I'm making that one. Oh, I didn't know it. Of course you didn't know it because I didn't share my work. I didn't share my work on Slack channel. I was not on that meetings where everyone just are sharing their work. I was literally super hard and work it isolated, making like components. So you need to share everything that you are currently doing. So just be there, just share your work on the channels on any platform that you have it. Just take the chance to do that. And being always available, the same. You don't need to be there like that kind of person. When you talk with a lead or with a manager, they take like that time to answer you. So that's fine because more of the 70% of the things that we are making, people are resolve it like super quickly. So just feel like that is like channel, okay, that's not something urgent. Just wait it and then they will resolve it. If they couldn't resolve it, then you will be there to support them. But don't be that person that literally just stay there like answering all the time the Slack channels, because if not, you will not advance, and you need to be advanced for all your team. Support exhausts you more than fulfills you. At the beginning, right now I'm on one time that I wanted to make that jump, like to grow up as a lead, a team lead, and because right now I'm on that moment that I wanted to own like that kind of responsibilities. But when I was started like a designer, I didn't want to have that responsibility. It's a team of one. You are like saleswoman, you are like a designer, you are like an engineer, you are like making everything, you are like kind of unicorn. So then supporting exhaust me a lot, and I was not on that point, but right now I am. So if you are not on that point that you don't want to assume all the responsibilities, just tell your boss, just sit down, wrote all responsibilities that you think that you need to own it, and then all the things that you will not own it, and find someone who owns it. Because if not, all that kind of wide position will not be filled, so then you couldn't make your work. Then like a benefit. So I was just saying like all the things that I make it, and that was like really hard because I was making a lot of things. I was like under shadows. Anybody didn't know what exactly I was working on, so that was hard. But then on the other side, when I make all that stuff, I have like a broader vision of how the team works. So that was super useful to know what the teams are working on, which are the person that I need to talk with them. So that's really cool. Then another one, it's an easy path to promotion. When you own like kind of responsibilities that not under your role, it's on the next level, then it's really easy to share like, hey, I can do that work. Why? Because I was doing that one before. So for promotion, that's really nice. Then you have less cost or more clarity. Of course, if you own like a lot of the stuff, at the end you can just construct your own ecosystem, learn new and relevant skills. So at the end, when you assume that kind of responsibilities that are not on your role, most of them are soft skills. So you at the end have or own it and learn these new skills. And then how to make your impact a little bit more visible. For me, there are like three pillars. So one of them is share the team wins while highlighting your role subtly. So what we are sold at before. Document the process and proof of your impact. I will just share that image a little bit more bigger in a bit, and then find internal sponsor who advocate for you. You don't need like all the time like being presential and say, hey, I'm Marta and I'm a design system and I make all my work. Of course you need to do that. But super important, like Jeff Bezos say, like your personal brand is what other people say while you are not on the room. So you need like people talk about your work when you are not in front of them. So this is super important. Like your manager just kind of listen. Hey, Marta, just make that one. Marta, just support on that. So if you are like working like closely with other teams, they will talk really good about your work. So then document like the process as proof of impact. For me, there are like two ways for do that one. The first one is like a media kit. So when I didn't have like any metrics, like everyone just talk about like metrics, I don't have metrics. Okay, let's just do like a media kit, like something like super like easy. pull like a regular feedback from the designers, from the engineers, from team leads about your work. I really like that images because that was like my first week on SoSafe, and I remember that the boss just asked like, "What are the things that are really nice, that happened nice this week?" And they just put like Marta. Marta is something cool that we have it right now on the team. So they feel like really good. So I just put it over there. And then I just have like a list of pages on Figma for all the meetings that I have it with the designers. The designer at the beginning don't have any support. So I spend like a lot of time individually with all of them to make all that revision. So at the end, I have like a lot of time consuming that I didn't have it on my Jira. So people don't know what exactly I was working on or how many time I'm spent on that. So what I do it is just share that, like the date that I'm currently working, the person that's currently working, the design or the topic that we are currently reviewing, and then I just pull like the image before like the review and the image after the review. So I have like kind of media kit that I can just share people what exactly I was currently working on. And then we have like metrics. Sorry, right now we are currently working on Compass. So it's like an application inside of Atlassian, just to recollect some metrics that it came from GitHub. And then like I think it's kind of the last presentation that I have it. So the invisible leaderships have you to drive change, build new skills and grow with gain, but nothing will happen without some strain. So it's nice like to being leading and to have like that ownership because you can learn and grow up a lot, but it's hard. So you need to kind of reflect if you want to be on that position or not and take like the advantages and the benefits. So kind of the summary, and then I will leave the microphone to other people. So first is to understand the ecosystem. That's the first thing that we see it. If you didn't understand everyone or the things that they needed, it's really hard to continue. Then motivate and support your team. Be this kind of cheerleader that you wanted to have it at 8 a.m. every morning. Support exhausts you more than it's fit you. So this is not for you. Just kind of made that checklist with the befores and the pros and the cons of making that role. Be proactive and consistency in communication. It's not like only communicate, is make it like something that you wanted to do it every time. Don't be always available. If you are always available, don't give you like nothing extra. Don't it's not necessary. You can be there for support on a big topics, but not that person who's literally like all the time behind the Slack. Define the process, be proactive and consistent, and share and recollect your impact. This is super important. If you don't want to like to be on the shadows, if you want to leading and to take the ownership of that things, you need to recollect and share your impact. You need to be on that meetings that everyone just talking about the products, about the metrics, about the sales. You need to be there. You need to talk with the manager or who's driving that initiatives and tell them, hey, can I just make like a presentation to share my work and all the benefits that take to the company? So you need to be there. People need to remember your name. So sometimes the best leadings don't stay on the stage; they are pulling the strings from behind the backstage. So that's that for me, like kind of the summary of the presentation. So obrigado a todo el mundo por estar hasta, for being like here. I just miss my languages. So thank you so much.